So Taurus, we're looking at Venus, and Venus is changing signs, as you know, at the end of Friday. It's Friday morning. Venus will change signs. And that brings a new focus for Taurus and Taurus rising. From the 8th house of joint resources and the way that you share money. Also, intimacy may have been an area that you were focusing a lot on this last 3 weeks. Venus kind of moves quickly through a sign. I'm just thinking maybe we should talk about Mars first, because Mars moving into your first house is definitely going to feel noticeable for Taurus. And that happens Wednesday. So first you get that jolt of energy on Wednesday when Mars finally leaves that 12th house, where it's harder to access your energy. It's harder to access your vitality and your fortitude and that strength to move things forward. And you move into a place of maybe more energy, more assertiveness, more motivation, certainly. It is going to join up with Uranus, but that's a little bit later in the month. So we don't have to talk about that just yet. We have plenty to cover before then. So Mars in the first house, Taurus and Taurus rising. This is for Taurus rising, but with Taurus sun, this is very important too. It just gives you a boost. It's kind of like strapping on rocket boosters to your body and having a little more energy to do things. The other thing I want to mention is Friday on the 8th, when Venus and Mercury, within a few hours of each other, they both change signs. And that shifts from, Mercury has been in a nice alignment with Taurus, and now it moves into a bit of a square aspect. So it could be that your stubbornness gets activated, Taurus, as we move through Mercury in Aquarius. And that's quite a long time. It's all the way through March. But I do think it brings your ideas that you've been working on, the ideas that have been, kind of giving you this bigger worldview, this broader perspective for the last few weeks. And now it brings those ideas into a much more public sphere. So it could be that you're ready to share some ideas that you've come up with Mercury moving into the top of your chart. And people are interested in your ideas. With Saturn and Jupiter there as well, you're definitely in a more public kind of place this year. There's definitely more opportunity for you to shine, and definitely more opportunity for you to show your expertise. With Mercury moving into the alignment with Saturn on Saturday, and Saturday is Saturn's day, that is a time where it feels like your expertise is called for. So because there's a degree on either side of influence, this could be Friday, it could be Sunday, but Mercury is going to be bringing your expertise into focus much more publicly the end of this week. Venus moving into that 9th house can create a little bit of restlessness to do some traveling or to just get out. Venus really enjoys, the good things in life. And moving into the 9th house, it's like your eye is on the horizon. You can't wait to get going somewhere. And all of us are that way, obviously. I think with Venus in a trine aspect to your decan, your ascendant, or your sun sign, it does bring a much needed sense of well-being for you, as Taurus has been hosting Uranus for a couple of years now in that first house. Anxiety can come and go in very noticeable ways with Uranus there, with Venus kind of giving you a little bit of softening, a little bit of grace and tenderness. It feels like the next 3 weeks could feel a little bit better than the last 3 weeks, because you're not, Venus and Sag for a Taurus or Taurus rising isn't super comfortable. It's not their vibe. Venus in an earth sign totally is. It's much more steady, grounded, and it feels, it's just more of your speed. So let's see, Venus, we talked about Mercury. One of the other things I'm noticing that's happening on Friday is a very interesting day, and it will be for all of us. There's a lot going on Friday. That Mercury square Mars for Taurus and Taurus rising, it could be that your ideas that you're so excited about get challenged, or it's that you're really motivated to speak up and really articulate them in a, in a very clear way. The square aspect doesn't have to be negative. It is motivating and it does suggest change. So that's for you, that's Friday. And then Sun sextile Neptune, which I will read that for all the signs because that's a really nice alignment. And for Taurus, it's happening from that 9th house. And I would imagine Venus is going to join up with the Sun in a few days following that. I don't see that on my book, but the Sun trine Neptune is relief. It feels like a respite. And in the Earth water decan for a Taurus, that's going to feel really nice. Neptune has been in that 11th house, making it a little harder for Taurus to get their arms around their goals. And even maybe creating some fog or misunderstanding with friends. Like there's a real sense of where do I belong now? And what does that even look like? I mean, we're all feeling that, but this is especially true for Taurus and Taurus rising. And with that Sun making a nice aspect from the 9th house, it feels like maybe a philosophical shift around a friendship or a philosophical shift about a goal that you had that you realize needs to just kind of dissipate and dissolve. That's kind of Neptune's territory.